everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Ednet. Today we will learn the first Tigrinya alphabet letter set. Are you ready? Let's do this. We will learn this alphabet using a simple technique to read, write, pronounce, and listen the first Tigrinya letter set. On a quick side note, we will have a live game that will be live streamed after we have covered 4 Tigrinya letter sets. So I'd advise you to watch this video from start to finish. Also, if you haven't watched our other Tigrinya introduction video, you can just press this link that will take you right there. Because if you did watch the video, then it will give you a good overview of the Tigrinya letter sets. Let's dive into our first Tigrinya letter set, He. In this video series, we will try to follow this chart whenever we learn a new letter. So this chart has the first row, which is where we will put all the Tigrinya letters. So for this set, it's He. So we have all the He letters written there. And the second row, where we see here, is the sound area. And the sound area is where we will learn how to pronounce and how to hear these Tigrinya alphabets. Then we have this writing area over here. Now the writing area is where we will learn how to write the Tigrinya letters, so step by step. And if you know how to write, then you know how to read. In this section over here, which is the example area, we will have an example that would go with each Tigrinya letter. And finally, the remark. The remark is just additional information that we wanted you to know. Alright, let's begin by first learning how to pronounce and hear these Tigrinya letters. First, let's see how to pronounce He, which is our first letter that we see. So this is He. And Tigrinya is written as H-E in English. Okay? So we pronounce it as He. Our second letter, which is Hu, is pronounced using the English letters H-U. Hu. Our third letter is He, and He is written in English as H-I. He. Our fourth letter, which is Ha, is written using the English letters H-A. Our fifth letter, which is He, is written as H-I-E. He. Our sixth letter, which is H, is written in English by writing the letter H. H, so H. Our final letter, which is our seventh letter, which is Ho, is written in English as H-O. Ho. Now I'll repeat each letter once so that you may be able to pronounce it with me. So our first letter, He. He. Our second letter, Hu. Hu. Our third letter, He. he. Our fourth letter, ha. Ha. Our fifth letter, he. He. Our sixth letter, h. H. And our seventh letter, ho. Ho. So our first letter, which was he, can simply be written by writing the letter U. So just write a U. And that's how you write he. Our second letter, which was who, is written by making another U. But this time, you add a nose to it. A nose to the who. For our third letter, it's a little different from the ones that we've seen before, but it's not that much different. So our third letter, which was he, can be written by making a small u, then making a capital L. This is how you write he. Our fourth letter, which was ha, can be written by making another small u. So I got a small u. But this time, we make one long line or a lowercase l at the side. So we do something like this. Ha. Our fifth letter, which is he, can be written by making another small u and then making another lowercase l. But this time, you're going to add a ring at the bottom. Okay? So you have a ring at the bottom. Our sixth letter, which is he, can be written by making a small capital L and then making an even bigger U. And that's how you write he. And for our final letter, ho, you can write it by making a normal U. But this time, you are going to add a ring at the top. Okay? So before, on he, you added the ring at the bottom. It's finally time for me to give you an example with all these Tigrinya letters. Are you ready? Let's begin. So our first example is gonna be made up of the letter he. Okay? And an example of the letter he would be ba, r, ha. Berha. Berha in Tigrinya is a name, but it's not only a name, it's a word that you could use. Berha in Tigrinya means there came light in English. For our second letter, which is, if you remember, who, an example of that would be who, ku, yeah. Hukui. Hukui in Tigrinya means lazy boy in English. Our third letter, which is he. An example of that would be, I think you all know this one, Shahi. 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 Shahi in Tigrinya, for those of you who do not know, means tea in English. For our fourth example, which is going to be made up of the letter ha, an example of that would be ha gar. Hagar. Hagar in Tigrinya means country or nation in English. Now it's time for our fifth example. Our fifth example is going to be made up of the letter he. Okay? And an example of the letter he would be B he r. Biher. Biher in Tigrinya means ethnic group in English. Now it's time for our sixth example. Our sixth example is going to be made up of the letter H. An example of the letter H would be H ta n. Hitan. Hitan in Tigrinya means infant or toddler in English. For our final example is made up of the letter ho. Okay? And ho and an example of the letter ho in Tigrinya would be ho la n d. Holland. Holland in Tigrinya means Holland in English. So they sound alike. And Holland, for those of you who do not know, is a nation in Europe. Another name for Holland is Netherlands. Our remark is going to be taking care of two different things that we wanted you to notice or know. So once I finish the first one, don't leave me, there's also another one after that one. Alright, let's begin. The first remark that we wanted you to make is that in Tigrinya, we write our letter H like normal you, right? And we say it like H, right? But crazy thing is, in Amharic, they write H like us, okay? But they say it like ha. Isn't that something? So we say H, but they say ha. For who in Amharic, they write it the same way as us, and they also say it the same way as us. For he, they write it the same way as us, and they say it the same way as us. For ha, which might be a question for you guys, because like, if they have ha over here, does that mean that they're gonna write ha for ha? And the answer to that is no. they write ha exactly like us, and they say ha the same way. So in the Amharic alphabet, they have two ha's. The fifth letter, which is he, is written the same way in Amharic, and they also say it the same way as us. Our sixth letter, h, they write it the same way as us, and they say it the same way as us. For ho, they write it the same way as us, and they say it the same way as us. So that was the first remark. Our second remark is a little bit tricky, but if you hang on, we'll be able to do this. Okay, so our second remark that we wanted you to take is that there isn't only one way to write the letter set of ha. There's actually two ways. And I'll show you them right now. So ha can also be written as it can also be written by writing it like this. And how do you say it? In Tigrinya, we say like this. But if someone who speaks Amharic, they will say it like ha. For another way to write the letter hu is gonna be based off the first one. So we're gonna do the exact same thing. So we're gonna copy that. But this time we're gonna add a line at the bottom. Not bottom, but at the middle. And how do you say it? You say it normally, so you say it like who. Our third letter, which is he, you write it again so the base is going to be starting from this, right? So let's first create that. This time we're going to add a line at the bottom. Okay? And you say it as he. For ha's a little different from the ones that we've previously seen. So it's not something like this, just a little bit different. So ha is written like this. Okay? So there's this shape here, and then you add a line on top. And how do you pronounce it? Normally by just writing it and saying it as ha. Our fifth example is he. And you write he by again starting from the base. Okay? So we're gonna create this, right? But this time we're gonna add a ring at the bottom. Okay? So this time there's a ring at the bottom. And how do you say it? You say it as normally like hey. Our sixth letter, which is h, is gonna be written. So let's just start from the base, right? This time, when we reach this point over here, we're gonna make the line extra long. Okay? So over here, the line is pretty short. Okay? But over here, the line is pretty long. And you pronounce it by just saying h. For ho, you write it by making this, okay? And then you add the nose that sticks out. So to make it just a little more clear for you, you write like this. You do like that ring at the top. Then you add the nose that keeps sticking out. So that is how you write ho. And you pronounce it normally by saying ho. So to summarize the remark, the first remark that we made was that in Amharic, they have ha being pronounced 2 times. So if we were going to say it in alphabetical order, ha, hu, hi, ha, he, ho. But in Tigrinya, we say it as he, hu, hi, ha, he, ho. Okay? I'll repeat it one more time, but slower. In Amharic, they say ha, hu, hi, ha, he, ho. But in Tigrinya, we say it he, hu, hi, ha, he, ho. The second remark we made was that you can write Tigrinya in a different way. So make sure to practice these things at home, right? Because you will learn them better if you do more practice. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informational or helpful, don't forget to write that in the comment section below. And another thing that you shouldn't forget is to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a single one of our new videos. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time.